Dr. Marlisa Hurt is more accomplished than I can tell you. She is a PhD in anti-aging, PhD in functional medicine. She's been I met her because she was a formulator. She's not a girl who just puts stuff on her face. She makes the stuff before she puts it on her face. She's been working with NASA and transdermal deliveries before. I want her to come here and share with you a snippet of what the science behind this gel and what it does, as well as her own personal testimony, which was even more powerful to me. But Dr. Marlisa, if you could unmute and pop on, please do.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for having me. I am so thrilled for the opportunity to be with everybody today and just for the opportunity to share what I saw as a functional medicine doctor in the power, the uniqueness of the delivery system, and truly what my truth is the absolute need of every household to have this in their household and at their disposal for whatever comes along. So I want to share a little bit about basically what we believe in functional medicine, that really when Ariana shared with me about 5 minutes of what was in, I was like, just tell me what's in it. Just tell me what's in it. And when she shared, I was like, no, this is amazing. And I just really want to share with you guys the reasons of the things that I've accumulated over 23 years of being in functional medicine, the things that I know about how our body works that made me go, everyone on the planet needs this. I mean, I literally said to her, it's fantastic. I'm happy for all these elite athletes that are able to break records, and it's so fun for all of us to get to watch famous people, but achieve these incredible benchmarks and breaking records. But honestly, how many people in the world are elite athletes? Like, I don't even, there's 7 billion people on the planet. I don't even know if 1% of people are elite athletes. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I've worked with NFL players. I've worked with the families of NFL coaches. I've worked with former White House people doing concierge care. And I can tell you the amount of people that I see are struggling with their health. And basically in functional medicine, we look at the human body as one big lifelong experiment. How can we continue to optimize every single human being? And it really comes down to two things. It's the balance up to optimize anyone's cellular performance. If we have healthy cells, we have high functioning organs, which means the whole body is functioning at a high level. And it's totally dependent on two factors that this product addresses. And those two things are we flooding our body with enough nutrients, macronutrients in the food, micronutrient dense foods, not just a lot of calories like bags and bags of potato chips or granola bars, but micronutrient dense foods. That's what our cells are clamoring for. And then the other thing that balances that like a seesaw is the awareness of toxin avoidance. And it's because our environment today continues to get more and more toxic. And just walking around and if we are not consciously uh, flooding our body with nutrients to repair itself when we rest, our body is by default getting overwhelmed with toxins because the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food supply is tainted with chemicals, and our personal hygiene products that we put on in the name of getting clean or being more beautiful, our bodies, our cells are overloaded with toxins, and we have to have enough micronutrients available in our bodies because our cells have to work so much harder to displace those toxins. Our cells have to work harder to be able to take the food that we're eating and separate all the toxins and the chemicals and the preservatives and the colors and our cells have to work hard to dissolve and offload those toxins so it can take what's left, the nutrients, to be able to recharge and repower our cells. So we have to be proactive to be, in anti-aging medicine, which is the field that I'm in. We look at all of the things that we can do to ultimately nutrify our bodies at the cellular level, because we know that providing optimal nutrition while consciously avoiding and abstaining from toxic input in our air, in our water, in our food, even emotional relationships, the energy of the people around us. We don't need that extracellular stress. Our cells are all being bombarded at the cellular level. And so once the balance is out of whack, once our cellular balance has been pushed past the point where our cells can no longer function optimally, we find ourselves in a state of dis-ease, discomfort, unwellness, exercise intolerance, waking up after a full night of sleep and still feeling tired, trying to go to our jobs and having brain fog, trying to go to the gym and we we poop out. We just we limit out. We know we should be able to do more, but we just can't. It's because that balance has been thrown off inside our body. So all the diseases that take lives today are chronic degenerative diseases. Our bodies are wearing out at a cellular level, mostly because this cellular balance has been pushed so far out of range that our cells are dying faster than they should be. Toxins are accelerating the wear and tear from pushing our bodies past their limits. We're not getting enough rest. We don't have enough nutritional food that is dense in these micronutrients to be able to recover to the capacity that we should be when we do get rest. I used to think that fasting and activating autophagy was like the way to heal everything until I personally was exposed to an inhalation injury that caused mast cell activation in my body 4 years ago from toxic mold poisoning. And so when your immune system basically reaches the point where it is, your cells are past the point of its toxic load, it's like the dam breaks and everything is different. And so having gone from being a fit, healthy, you know, teaching proactive living my whole life, I went to, even when I was fasting, if I stepped into an elevator with someone with perfume on or cigarette smoke, I could gain 5 to 7 pounds of fluid in a matter of hours just standing in the elevator with someone for 5 minutes. I was out for 3 days. I couldn't move. My body would not only cause this incredible histamine reaction, which would cause an increase in fluid. But the body-wide pain that would come from that was overwhelming, and I could not function. And I had to take time off to intentionally really create full alignment in my body to make sure that everything that I was doing, air, water, food, rest, people, everything, that I was creating an environment where my body was able to heal itself. And I believe our bodies are created to be able to heal themselves. It's just a matter of not allowing the toxic stuff in and allowing our bodies to be flooded with the nutrients that it needs to repair itself when we rest and getting adequate rest. So for me, I'd passed up the point of optimal function from this mold toxins. Mold damages the mitochondria, and those are our little energy factories. And when you have an inhalation injury, when you have a high toxic load from, the pesticides that are on our salad, we think salad's a great healthy choice, but there's more pesticides in that bowl of salad than there is essential fatty acids, essential nutrients. Do you know that diabetes starts in the muscle cells? When we are not eating enough, when we have an essential fatty acid deficiency, our muscles have like, if you would imagine like a little electrical cord, like you plug in your vacuum cleaner to the wall to get the power source, our muscles should have these neurofibrils that plug into our fat stores so that when we exercise, we have this fuel to tap into and we feel great. We feel energized when we exercise. But do you know that when you become deficient in essential fats, those neurofibrils, they die off. And that's the beginning of diabetes happening in our muscle cells. It's a lack of essential fuel. And little kids run around with boundless energy because they naturally make carnosine, one of the main active ingredients in our product. Carnosine is something that at the mitochondrial level, it is like putting the oxygen mask on. This is why I say every single household needs Lactigo in their home. Because how many people do you know that not only are living their life from the sidelines on the couch, they no longer have exercise capacity for themselves, but they might have children who are overweight and obese in the first and second grade. Why is this happening? It's because there is not enough nutrients at the cellular level for the amount of toxins that everyone is taking in. And in our children today, we know that there's over 286 chemicals found in the average baby's cord blood before that child has made any decisions of their own. They're coming into the planet overwhelmed with toxic load. So their capacity to make things like carnosine, to make things that make our mitochondria, those little energy factories that live in all of our muscle cells and our brain cells, allows us to process thoughts and to have a good reaction time that make us safe to be driving on the roads. Our mitochondria being compromised by not having enough nutrients and being overwhelmed with toxins that basically suck those nutrients, any nutrients we are getting, are just their capacity to heal us is completely sucked up and neutralized by the toxins that we're exposed to. So you know that if you are a person that is in chronic pain, this is going to be a life-changing day for you if you say yes to trying one more thing. I contacted a naturopathic doctor. She's a huge spokesperson within the naturopathic physicians community. She's been suffering from trigeminal neuralgia, which is a nerve disease they nickname it the suicide disease because people are in so much pain and there's really no offer in traditional medicine. And I said, listen, I know that you know all about magnesium, but have you tried topical carnosine? I went to an entire conference on oral carnosine and have known about that and magnesium. I've created my own products. The problem is that when you take these things orally, 70% of it is lost in the digestive tract because people like me who've been exposed to mold, guess what? That changes your microbiome. No longer can you absorb nutrients the way that you used to be able to. No longer is 70% of your immune system resides in your gut lining, is what we're taught. You know, that's not happening. Your immune capacity that is in your gut lining has been destroyed when you've had an inhalation injury from toxins like chemicals or mold or whatever it is. So no longer can you absorb nutrients in your stomach and have them get into the bloodstream to get delivered to your cells, especially your muscle cells, to be able to make the ATP to power you to walk around. You've lost the capacity to take food and for your body to in turn turn that into energy. And when you're trying to starve yourself thin in the name of health, you create these essential nutrient deficiencies like not enough amino acids, which are essential, building block protein, not enough protein, or you can't absorb it because you have gut damage already, not enough essential fatty acids. When we don't have enough of these essential fatty acids, that's the beginning of diabetes. Those electrical cords that are plugging into the muscle cell or going from the muscle to the fat so that we have easy access to burn fat for fuel when we exercise, that makes us feel invigorated and alive when we exercise. That is not happening. Those neurofibrils have died off if you've done too much fasting or if you've been on a low fat diet. You have an essential fatty acid deficiency. And these nutrient deficiencies at the cellular level are the beginning of weight loss resistance and metabolic syndrome. And your mitochondria in your muscle cells or your brain are no longer able to produce energy, ATP. The beauty of this product is that there is no wall around the city anymore. This product, you put it on through your skin, you don't have to digest it. It gets on the other side of those metabolic blocks that are allowing diabetes to continue to get worse in people. We look at anybody who's overweight, but especially, you think little kids, they're making tons of carnosine, they have lots of energy, they're running around on the playground, and they recover so quickly. They fall down, they get right back up, but not the chubby kids. Why? The chubby kids, they have an absolute excess amount of fuel. They should have plenty of fuel to give them more energy, right? Why aren't they accessing that fuel? Why are they tiring sooner? It's because they have these metabolic blocks, and when they eat food, it is not flipping those switches that turn their mitochondria into little, energy burning factories. There is a metabolic block that has happened because of the coexisting micronutrient density deficiency along with the toxin density. And the beauty of this product is not only it gets past that because it comes in through our skin and it goes directly into the bloodstream and delivers into the tissues. So it basically reverses, it gets past, it's like the best biohack ever because it gets past those things. It gets past those blocks. I can tell you for me, when I first started using this, I couldn't wait to get it. So when I got the package, I mean, I've been dealing with recovering from chronic illness now for 4 years. Chronic pain, I have been taking all the things. I do peptides, injections, probably 10 to 12 several times a week. I still had chronic pain. I had chronic back pain. I had pain from head to toe for a while, but a lot of the other um, what we would call biohacking things, like I've done all the things, red light therapy, sauna, like detoxing, like it's my lifestyle. But I still had chronic pain. I still would tire out. I still couldn't even think about exercise. And I had been exercising my whole life. And so to go from being a fit, naturally, metabolically healthy person to all of a sudden, I'm just gaining mass amounts of weight from this toxic load, I knew my body was broken and certain pathways were broken. And that I was trying to fix. And when I got this product in my hand, it was a Thursday afternoon. I immediately like stripped down and put it everywhere I could reach. I couldn't reach the middle of my back, but I put it everywhere I could reach and I laid down on my red light therapy bed. And I was like, I'm just going to hope this extra heat and these red lights help to drive this thing even faster because I want to see what this stuff can do. I did it again Thursday night. I woke up and I did it Friday morning. I did it Friday night. And I knew that because our whole house had been emptied of furniture, trying to do this mold remediation thing, we were having furniture delivered on Saturday. And I thought, I've got to get as much of this stuff in my system as I can so that I am not useless sitting in a corner telling everybody else to work, because I don't like that. I like to be a part of doing things. And so I would say 5 applications over a 36-hour period. I woke up with energy that morning. I woke up an hour before my alarm. I had no pain 36 hours later. Okay. I woke up with no pain. I had just had the opportunity to meet with the chief science officer, Dr. Chad Macias. He had said there is no safe upper limit to carnosine. It just keeps banking up more and more and more of it. And as you bank up more and more of it, your cells continue to level up to a higher level of mitochondrial energy production. You can't. So for those of you who aren't science geeks like me, the safe upper limit means they have given mass amounts of this to people and animals and everything. There is no limit at which you can take too much and overdose yourself and get to a toxic situation. You can't even say that about a lot of vitamins, but you can say that about carnosine. And when I heard him share that, I was like, I'm just going to keep slathering this stuff on to see what I can do. Like, I just want to keep banking this up in my body so I don't feel like I need to retreat to the couch, with after 20 minutes of trying to go for a walk. I want to see what my body's capable of. So that 36 hours was my first litmus test. I worked for 8 hours straight without sitting down. I felt great. I was tired, like I was ready for a rest, but I didn't have any pain. And guess what? I didn't have any pain the next day. And I didn't have any pain the day after that. I kept banking up morning and night consistent use of the Lactigo product twice a day, like clockwork. And by the 7th day, I woke up and I went, okay, usually when I feel a little bit better, I like go gangbusters and I do like every project in my house that's been waiting for me to have a good day. I was like, you know what? I owe it to myself to see. I feel like I could probably lift weights today. I'm going to go to the gym with my husband and just see what I can do. And I did not get tired. I got on there and I lifted weights and I did 5 sets. And every set I added another 10 pounds. And after my 5th set, I still wasn't limiting out at 15 reps. I was like, man, I think I could do 20 reps. I could not believe it. And just the sense of agency that I have for the first time in years to feel like I felt like my body was possessed by some force that I couldn't get rid of. I mean, toxic chronic pain is like no joke. It is so mentally defeating, especially when you've lived your life very proactively, and to feel like you breathed in stuff that you couldn't even see, that's hard to measure for in, blood, urine, whatever, to be able to have something that would give me the gift of feeling in control over the input of my body and its capacity to output and produce energy again. It is like the keys to the kingdom to me. I mean, I need you guys to understand when I say every single household needs this, not just for people who want to have the biggest muscles in the neighborhood, but people who just want to get off the sidelines of their own life. They want to know how to have a practical tool to upregulate that cellular function level and to get to higher gears of stress tolerance and stress resilience. And I lost 5 pounds. I feel like I'm telling the story of like, and then I found $5. I lost 5 pounds in a week. I had been doing all the things for 6 months, hadn't lost any weight, but I lost 5 pounds in a week. You know why? Because carnosine and magnesium give your body the ability to stabilize your stress hormones, to keep stable blood sugar. So I could literally talk for hours about
You,
the benefits of these two
you could,
things.
but that was such a mic drop, just what you said, because you guys, thank you, Dr. Marlisa.